play is make-believe at the double. I look at something and I first see what it is, or at least what I believe it is, be it Simon Russell Beale, a banana, February the 14th. But then I make believe what if what is was something else, Hamlet, a revolver, the Feast of St. Valentine.
If I'm talking to a room of game designers, looking at religion as something that is based around praxis should begin to feel very familiar, right? Praxis are like games. Praxis can be written as games. There is a hair's breadth of difference between the Hajj and Journey to the End of the Night. We played a game of the weekend called Shabbat Put, which was looking at playing the Jewish Sabbath as a game, right? You have a home base, you have teams, you have rules.
He's about 20 years old. His name is Jody McIntyre. I think he's a hero of our time.
I think that's like a symbol of the occupation. Like, people dying for nothing every day, all the time.
This is like I think this is probably in LA. Cones, so the driver's kind of navigating this space. That's his view. Kind of goofy, right? It's changing the experience a little bit. Oops, maybe he's having some trouble kind of navigating as best as you can. You can see the different perspectives on the bottom. Here he's coming back, getting back on track, and yikes! Takes out a fake person.
Even though I was terrified, or I knew that there was peril, or I knew that something might occur that would completely take me by surprise or turn my world upside down, I knew at every step of the way I was completely safe. And that, ultimately, was what delighted me about it and allowed me just to sort of go, ah.
This organism has a better chance of succeeding if the mouse that it's in gets eaten by a cat. And consequently, it's evolved to have an effect on mice's brains that means that they no longer respond to the smell of cats as a fear trigger. So the mice that have this organism inside them are less frightened of cats and therefore more likely to get eaten so that the cat can eat them, so this stuff can get in the cat gut and come out the other end.
It's almost like this, which is the other thing I want to talk about, is people peering in to Europe. You think Europe is a place that people find absolutely fascinating. And we're quite used to it, in a way. So then I was out in what I call quite a conservative country, working on quite a radical, almost theatrical thing.
My favourite joke about infinity, and it involves an infinite number of mathematicians who walk into a bar. And the first one says, "I'll have a pint, please, landlord." And one behind him says, "I'll have a half pint, please, landlord." The one behind, "I'll have a quarter of a pint." And so on, it goes back and back. Whereupon the landlord says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, hold on. He pours 2 pints, puts them on the bar and says, "Just sort it out amongst yourselves."
The way that sort of animals negotiate the world is very similar to the way that children negotiate the world, in that it's not really play for them. They don't see it as something which is, and now we're playing. It's essential, it's serious. It's not really games when you're little, it's just how you are and how you're making sense of yourself.
This is an artwork which is a canvas covered in strips of magnetic tape, and the artist made a glove, and each fingertip has a tape head in it, and you can touch the canvas.
What I'd like to just invite you to do is just have a little chew on the end of it. I promise you it's going to hurt a bit, not too much, but I just thought it was quite valid just to introduce a little bit of joy and pain because of the endorphins that will then be raised by eating capsaicin, which will make you happy and feel a bit more playful.
The whole comic is kind of structured around these dualities. It's a black and white comic, so I like to have this very stark, there's good and evil, and in the comic, science is good and art is evil.
Pervasive urban gaming, or PUG, because previously for me a pug was a little dog with a flat face. And in fact, I used to play a game with pugs when I was a kid. I used to, there was a dog aid society next to our house in Edinburgh, and we would cover these well shafts with little twigs and grasses, hoping the pugs would fall in, but they never did.
An open flame travels across the board, changing the shadows. The dwarves hide in shadows, being chased by the light. It's a game for an adult and several children, and the children work together against the adult, and the adult is the light.
Back in the 70s, a great guy at Princeton, Andy Meltzoff, this is him with the fro, did these great experiments, which are sort of baby gurning experiments. What he discovered is that humans copy from just about the moment they're 42 minutes old. They copy better. They carry on copying. And recent work in South Africa and Australia, cross-cultural work, which includes, for example, Kalahari Bushmen, shows that humans go on copying as infants, even when there's no purpose. You all stand up and we'll do a thing together to illustrate that.
I hope that you invest this space and this opportunity with all of your brilliance and all of your ideas, and I very much look forward to hanging out with you and seeing the results as they emerge.